Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading an Arlecchino Listener by me. So let's get into it. You're standing on the bustling streets of Fontaine, admiring the beauty of the city's architecture. The sun is setting, casting a warm glow over the canals and buildings. You're waiting for Arlecchino, your lover, to finish her meeting with some important figures in the Fatui. You can't help but feel a mix of anticipation and slight anxiety, knowing how intense her work could be at times. As you wonder, you hear a familiar voice calling your name. Turning around, you see your ex-girlfriend, Juliet, approaching with a warm smile. It has been a while since you last saw her, and the encounter catches you off guard. "Hey, it's been ages. How have you been?" she asks, her eyes lighting up with genuine curiosity. You smile politely, trying to keep the conversation short. "I'm doing well, Juliet. Thank you for your concern. I was just enjoying the evening while I wait for someone." You say. You left off on pretty good terms, so you had no animosity towards her. But you knew your relationship was not really all that good. So, you're waiting for someone then? Who is it? If you would like to share?" she says, raising an eyebrow, clearly curious and interested. And before you could answer her question, you feel a presence behind you, and you know without even looking, just from the sound of the heels and the footsteps, that it's Arlecchino behind you. Her aura was also quite unmistakable, like it took up space around you, and the air would be different. And you turn to see her standing there, her eyes narrowed slightly, as she regards Juliet. You knew this was a little bit not what you wanted her to see. It would be tense, and she was not the easiest person to be around for most people. There you are," you say, stepping closer to her. "Juliet, this is Arlecchino. Arlecchino, this is Juliet. We used to know each other, as I've told you before." Arlecchino's eyes flicker with something you recognize as jealousy, something that was quite rare for you to see on her. She steps forward, placing a possessive hand on your shoulder. "Used to, huh?" she says, her voice cool and edged with steel. "It's always nice to meet old friends." Juliet, sensing the tension, smiles awkwardly. "Well, it was nice catching up with you. Maybe we can grab a coffee sometime." Arlecchino's grip on your shoulder tightens ever so slightly. "That won't be necessary," she says, her tone leaving no room for argument. "We have plans. Goodbye, Juliet." Juliet nods, her smile faltering as she takes a step back. "Sure, of course. Goodbye." As she walks away, you turn to Arlecchino, who was still watching her with narrowed eyes. "Arlie, it's not what you think." You begin, but she interrupts you. "I don't like her, and I don't like seeing you with her," she says bluntly, her gaze finally shifting to you. She saw no point in beating around the bush, especially where, in our relationship, communication mattered greatly. So, if she had something to say, she would say it immediately. You sigh, reaching up to gently touch her hand on your shoulder. "I was just being polite, you know. She's part of my past, but you are my present and my future." Arlecchino's expression softened slightly, though the intensity in her eyes remains. You better be right, she murmurs, leaning in to press a kiss to your forehead. I don't share what's mine. You smile, wrapping your arms around her waist. I know that, and I know that very well, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Arlecchino finally relaxes, her arms encircling you in a protective embrace. Let's go somewhere quiet, she suggests, her voice low and intimate. I want to spend time with you without any interruptions. You nod, grateful for the suggestion. Lead the way then. Together you leave the crowded streets of Fontaine behind, finding a secluded spot by the water. The night is peaceful, and the stars above twinkle brightly. As you sit beside Arlecchino, you can't help but feel content and secure in her presence. Do you really mean it? She asks after a moment of silence between you two, her voice softer now. That I am your future. Arlecchino was nothing if not confident, but sometimes the idea of love was so unfamiliar to her that even she struggled to understand it. It was difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to believe. But you look at her, your eyes reflecting the sincerity of your words. Absolutely. There is no one else I can imagine being with. It's always been you in my heart. You know that, ever since I met you. She smiles, a rare and beautiful sight, one that you will covet and cherish for as long as you live. That's good to hear. I'll be holding you to it. And I'm not letting you go either, she says, as she cups your face in her hands and leans in, pressing a soft kiss to your cheek, and then trailing even softer kisses, all until she's kissing your lips. Arlecchino could be unpredictable sometimes, and quite dangerous,